Great quality of the video. But bro, never rate again.
And just like that, we're back. This isn't just any other meta deck tier list video though. This one, we rank them on how annoying they are to have to battle against them. So, like from the opposite perspective from the other meta deck tier list videos. Anyways, for some extra context here, we don't know anything other than the fact that ranked is coming to this game. We don't know what it's gonna look like, when it's gonna hit, anything like that. So we are going to go to Pokemon Zone to go over the top meta decks here and go over even the honorable mentions and just rank all of them. And in the tier list, we're just gonna use the cards themselves, not like the actual deck or anything, so there might be multiples. It says last updated March 19th, so there's your context. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so let's just start at the top, right? I already have a good idea of what this Dialga EX deck is going to be. That's with Arceus. Yeah, man, I'm sure there's a couple variants here too. Yeah. So we got Dialga Probopass. I kind of dig that one. Yanmega variant, interesting. Melmetal variant. I don't think that one performs as well, but this is definitely the one that I've run across more. So I'm gonna try to, across all the variants, I mean, obviously there's so many different decks, right? So I'm just gonna pick the variant that I've had to battle against the most, which is definitely this version. So the premise here, if you don't know, Dialga ramps up either Arceus for the checkmate pretty much, or Mew to be a counter to other things, while Shaman kind of just sits on the bench and heals them for 10 each turn, which could definitely turn into an actual game-saving amount of HP over a turn or two even. So this deck is really hard to go against. I'd have to give this, I gotta give it an S tier. So you see Dialga and Arceus hit the bench, just like, ugh, Palkia EX. The first variant they give us is an 18 trainers. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the back of a Pokemon card, use that as the symbol for anything 18 trainers, and slap that all the way at the top of S tier. Because one, I mean, they're just not that fun to play, at least for me, because it's just so straightforward. But like also from the, you know, opponent's perspective, like me having to face that, there's no strategy to that. It's just, it feels like if there was a boss battle or something in this game, that's what it's like facing an 18 trainer. It's not fun because, you know, I mean, not saying that you're going to lose, but you know, any 18 trainer, especially when they can run Misty, it's just kind of like, all right, here we go, cool, thanks. So even here we've got 18 trainers. You probably gotta, yeah, I think the Articuno, if I had to rank the 18 trainers, yeah, I would say Articuno is definitely the worst. Just for some reason, I know 80 damage doesn't do as much as the Palkia does, but for some reason, just continuously hitting at 80 feels worse while also weakening everything on the bench. It just sucks. Pachirisu, I wouldn't even say is as bad, but he is hitting for 80. There's nothing else happening. He's not as healthy as Articuno EX either, so I kind of put Pachirisu at the bottom because Palkia is kind of more of a problem to deal with. I guess Zapdos probably isn't that bad either. I might actually put Zapdos below Pachirisu because, you know, you got to be flipping all your heads. So, okay, so Gallade EX. See, I really dig the Fighting Toolbox variants. I feel like no other color in the game has like this toolbox feeling to it where you can just slap a couple mons in, you know, like Hitmonlee's one of my favorite cards, Marshallow's one of my favorite cards, Sudowoodo really came up a lot. So it's really fun to run fighting decks right now because of how much variety there is. But yeah, Gallade EX isn't terrible because it is a stage 2, but he does hurt, and with 170 HP is tough to take down. But I kind of have a soft spot for these toolboxes, so I'm gonna put Gallade EX A tier. Lucario, just in general. See, okay, Lucario Rampardos, this has aura, dude, and it's hard for me to put this high up in the tier list because, I mean, you know, when you're dealing with anything fossil, it's really hard to pull that fossil. So like, you kind of have to not be mad. Like they were able to get the fossil somehow, because sometimes that thing could just be buried and you just cannot get it. And then like your other fossil mons, evos, are just like wasting draws for them. So like, I can't really put this higher than B. I would probably put this, I would have to put this B tier. Weavile EX. Now the first night of the 5 win streak event, I got paired with this a lot. Where, like, their second turn, I wouldn't have my Evo or any other benched mons or something like that. They'd drop the energy on Darkrai, then dawn it over to Weavile and just knock me out like turn 2. So I'm gonna have to put this S tier, which is probably not where you'd put this, but it is just so annoying. Like early game, like if you can't establish something early game, like this is so fast that it's tough. If you get hit with the okay, how about this? If you get hit with Dawn right away, then it's S tier. If not, A tier. We'll put this A tier. Gyarados EX. Okay, we got the Palkia variant, which I haven't faced yet. But okay, this is the one that I'm familiar with. The Gyarados, Greninja, Druddigon. Because we get a lot of Drud and Greninja. Like, I've seen Drud, Greninja, Darkrai before, and that's kind of tough to go up against. But Gyarados is kind of like the checkmate. 140 isn't terrible, but it is like, okay, he's scary, and watch, I'm gonna be the one that loses the energy. Any deck having to move around Drud is pretty annoying, but to have Greninja kind of poking at you, I think Greninja's a little more annoying than Darkrai, just because Greninja can attack anything. Where Darkrai is only the active Pokemon, so you can kind of work around that. Gosh, I'd have to put this. I don't want to put too many things in S tier, but this is S tier. Water decks with Misty, especially when they get the flips, it's tough, man. But those are all the high tier decks. The high tier, the top tier decks. So now we probably won't be seeing as many S tiers. Arceus EX. Now, we're gonna get a lot of different variants here. Gosh, look at all these variants. This is really fun. Gosh, we're gonna have to do Arceus EX in general? See, because this we already covered this deck. So like, which one do we go with here? See, because this one's really fun, and there's a lot of different things that can happen. So I would put this one in like C tier, D tier, because there's just a lot happening, and it's a fun deck to go against because you have to work around the card. Oh no, Rotom's out, and you gotta, I don't know. I guess let's pick this one because the free retreat and swinging for 80 is crazy, especially if you get the cape on him, and if they do pull the Crobat. I mean, I think this is B tier. I think you can work around this one. But yeah, if they get Crobat, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. This is A tier. Leafy on EX. Those are the two variants, huh? Either Yanmega or Celebi. Okay. I think, similar to anything 18 trainer, I gotta put anything Celebi right behind 18 trainers in S tier. Because, dude, having to sit through all the flips knowing you're about to just get toasted, you're about to just get flamed, sucks. It's like all the coin flips is kind of just rubbing it in, Darkrai EX, so we're probably gonna get a lot of variants here. Okay, yeah, this is the one that I've definitely had to go up against the most. This sucks, but I would say this is A tier because you can kind of work around Magnezone a little bit, especially if you can pause and just take care of Drud, like if they don't have Darkrai right away. Obviously, these are all different situations and scenarios, but I think this deck has been around long enough to where we kind of know how to handle it, so it's not as annoying as it used to be, but this definitely used to be an S tier. So yeah, we're gonna put the classic Magnezone, Drud, Darkrai in A. We'll put it in A. So now we're going to Promising Decks. Okay, Executor EX. So this is like, yeah, Celebi with Executor. I guess we'll use the card Executor for this example. Yeah, this is tough. It's almost like you gotta rank each card specifically. Like a turn 2 Executor swinging for 80 is pretty annoying regardless. So we'll put Executor A tier. Barry, see, this is an interesting, okay, I haven't had to face this one yet, but I've faced against all of these things. I can imagine what this would have to be like. I really like Barry, and you kind of got to give respect to him, and there's only 2 of him in the deck. So I'd probably put Barry B tier. Starmie EX. See, I have a super, super soft spot because I love running this deck. Bouncing between Starmie EX and Lumineon for free retreat is so satisfying. It's so fun, but it is so tough because they can retreat like on the other end. I have not had to face this deck, but I know I have had a lot of rage quits, so I'd probably have to put this... Oh god, yeah, and then you're starting with Farfetch too. I mean, man. Lumineon is so, like, knockoutable. And Starmie EX only having 130 HP, see, there's no capes or anything in this. Misty almost seems pointless. Like, I know this deck, it doesn't take much to build these guys up, so I don't know, man. And then the X speed seems, I'd have to put this C tier. Infernape EX. Okay, yeah, see, this is the one with Heatran, Arceus, yeah. Or Moltres. I don't think the Moltres one is as annoying. I see Moltres Charizard more. Because the trick is you have to discard all energy. So, like, you could ramp the same way that you do with Charizard with Moltres, but it's like, Charizard just, you know, but like Charizard only discards a certain amount, so you can just keep ramping him in the right situation. Where in Infernape, you kind of have to get the 2 exactly on him, otherwise you're just kind of like wasting or burning, pun intended, fire energy away. With 170 HP too, man. Like, I get it. I'd have to put this B tier though, because you are kind of trying to work around that, and you're spending a lot of time getting the energy on Infernape instead of Arceus. And then, yeah, I guess, yeah, Heatran retreating for free with Infernape, kind of bouncing around those two. Can be annoying, but yeah, I'm standing by what I said. All right, into the honorable mentions. All right, Charizard EX with Moltres EX. We know it, we love it. I mean, it's been a staple for so long because Crimson Storm pretty much one-shots everything in this game. So, like, I think it's really interesting because at the time of recording this, the newest pack, well, God, what was it called? They teased another Charizard EX that takes 5 energy to swing for 150. I'm going to go on a limb and say I don't think that one's going to perform as well. I don't think that one's going to be as popular as this one is, because you have the one-shot capability. We know, like, again, this deck has been around for so long, so we kind of know what we have to do to beat this, so I don't think this is as annoying anymore, because also it's like, you kind of got to give respect, where it's like, okay, they got the Charizard ramped, you know, they got the flips. I guess the flips is kind of annoying like Misty can be, but I don't know, I can't really put this, C tier? Skarmory. See, I have a soft, I haven't faced this one. I'm thinking like Skarmory, Bastion, yeah. This is the one that I was thinking of. Because then you're guaranteed to start with Skarmory, and then you're building up into Bastion. See, and you're dealing with the coin flips here. I really like Skarmory as a card. It's one of my favorites. It's not really annoying to deal with because, again, they have to draw that fossil, so you can knock this out pretty quick. This might be the first D tier. Garchomp EX, man. Yeah, the version specifically with Aerodactyl, so that you're always starting with Gibble and you can build up into Garchomp right away. Aerodactyl EX, I don't really have a problem with. I think, like, the law isn't that much to have to worry about, really. I've never been in a situation where I'm like, oh no, the law. The problem I have with him is that it's only the stage 1 to evolve him at 140 HP for only 2 energy, swinging it for 80. It's just a really solid follow-up. But yeah, Garchomp is really annoying on the other end because 50 damage to any Mon is tough. And then, you know, if he decides to hit, you know, then he's hitting for 150 essentially over those 2 turns. 1 retreat cost too can be really annoying when you almost got him. 170 is tough to get rid of, you know. I'd put this A tier. Yanmega EX. See, I'm thinking of the version with Leafeon, dude, where you have... Oh, they don't have it here? I guess I would go with this one, because I remember Dialga ramping up Yanmega for a while there. I don't mind going up against it either, because 120 won't KO a lot of things. B tier. Pikachu EX, man, what a fall off, huh? Gotta be studied. I think the most annoying thing in this deck is Pachirisu, honestly, because Zapdos, again, you gotta get the flips. Pikachu just doesn't do it anymore, man. Pikachu just doesn't do it. So honestly, if I know that you're running Pikachu, I can't say D tier, can I? Dude, maybe this is just a timing thing, but I'm gonna put Pikachu EX D tier. Celebi EX, yeah, so we got the versions with like Executor, Superior, got a lot of different flavors with Leafeon. I've already ranked Celebi EX. Anything Celebi is right behind 18 trainers for me. Mewtwo EX, man, talk about another absolute fall off. I mean, Darkrai and like Weavile, all these mons like really put Mewtwo into its place. And honestly, 150 doesn't even take care of a lot of other EX mons out there when you need to get a stage 2 online for him to really operate. Mewtwo EX, also one of the top 2 metas like Pikachu EX was. I'm also gonna put D tier. Okay, Melmetal. So this is an interesting variant that I haven't gone across yet, but this is the one that I see most of the time. Just Dialga, Melmetal. 130, I mean, I get it, like he takes, you know, -20, so like the HP doesn't feel as different, but you know, like 150 swings are pretty common. I don't know, man. C tier? So Greninja in general, we've already ranked this deck. Greninja just in general is kind of annoying. This is a fun deck. I can't even hate on that. I'm gonna go with this one because I feel like I've used this one before. I've had to go up against it a couple times. I can't even hate on this one. This is gonna look so bad because I'm gonna give Greninja like the card specifically, but it's just he's splashed into so many different decks. This variant, I would say C tier. But Greninja as a card and being splashed into so many different decks, S tier. Because he always raises the bar for any deck you put him in. Volkner, look. I can't even hate, yeah, the default. I guess Magnezone is a thing. This one would probably be more annoying, but I'm gonna go with the default because I've had to go up against the default more. I can't be mad. This one's very doable because Electivire only 120, Luxray 130. I get it. I get the gist of the deck, hitting for 120. But again, things can survive that. Pending the situation, like with Electabuzz sniping early game, Luxray coming to finish the job, maybe, you know, and then all of a sudden, boom, Electivire. Like, I get it. I get it. I'll put it B tier. Machamp EX. With Marowak, I mean, it's just like, I loved using these decks way back in Genetic Apex, but it's just they do not perform. I don't know, how did this get number 1? How did this get number 1? Because I would put this D tier, honestly. Marowak's my favorite mon, or I guess Cubone, Marowak in general. But he's just so unreliable. I hate it. I hate it. I wish we would get a new, like, I'm really hoping that we get like an Alolan version Marowak that is just so much better. But man, he lets me down, man. And Machamp, I just feel like doesn't, I mean, I get it. He scales, but like, I don't know. I would still put this D tier. I would. Koga, you know, they always have a Koga or a Leaf or something. Like, they always have it, right? So I guess while I haven't had to go against these variants, just dealing with Koga, Weezing in general, I'd have to go B tier at least, right? Brock, dealing with Golem. I've definitely faced this variant more with Drud. Drud out front, Golem, Hitmonlee to finish the job, Marshadow for intimidation. This, I wouldn't say this is annoying. Drud's the only thing that's annoying to deal with, because Golem is just like, it feels like a final boss. It feels like a juggernaut. Like, maybe high B tier for this, because Golem is just so hard to knock out for that 1 point. Arcanine EX, I mean, D tier? I guess, yeah, because he mostly gets splashed in with Charizard and Moltres, but it's like, then we're just ranking the Charizard deck, and it's not as competitive, I feel like. So I guess this is the one that we're ranking. I mean, it's just not as good as the Charizard one. So, I don't know, C tier? Venusaur EX. I haven't seen this guy in a long long time. Venusaur was an absolute unit to get through. May even be harder to get through than Golem, to be honest, but like Golem's got the utility and the toolbox aspect, where Venusaur is just like a final boss, you know? I have to put this B tier. Blaine. Yeah, we've all got a soft spot for Blaine, don't we? Because it's like the most common cards that it's just the best common card deck. We've all got a soft spot for it. See, the thing is, if you can outlive the Blaines, or you can just kind of poke at Ninetales enough, this is beatable, but it is annoying at how much faster this deck is than everything else, it feels like. So, gosh, I gotta put it C tier. Blastoise EX. I haven't seen this guy in a while. What is this? Stall? Blastoise EX never really bothers me. And I know that's like a lot coming from, you know, a water EX that can be mistied, you know, but I don't know. I'm never really B tier though, I guess, because yeah, if you start swinging for 160, it's kind of over. But yeah, looking at these variants, I'm not annoyed by these, I guess. So that is the most annoying meta deck tier list video. I guess it's probably pretty similar to just a normal meta deck tier list video because, you know, obviously the harder a deck is to beat, the more annoying it's probably naturally going to be. But I just thought it had some more elements in this to spice it up, like with 18 trainers, Celebi. So hey, thank you so much for watching all the way through. Go ahead and like the video since you did, subscribe so you don't miss more content like this, and shoot me a comment down below. Let me know what your most annoying deck is to have to face off against. Like, what drives you nuts the most in the comments. Hey man, until next time, hopefully I'll catch you then. Take it easy.